So as much as I really want to rewatch the Clive trailer for Tekken 8 over and over and over and over again because the trailer was genuinely amazing and it was actually a huge surprise over at the Game Awards when it happened because I legitimately thought that it was a mobile game trailer because it just didn't look like it was a Tekken trailer, so it legitimately confused me the fact that it wasn't actually that, but turned out it was Clive Rosfield in Tekken, and it makes me really excited. It makes me really want to play him. But unfortunately, that's not what we're talking about today. What we're talking about today is the whole thing that happened revolving around Intergalactic, which is Naughty Dog's new sci-fi game, The Witcher 4 a little bit, and some reminiscence to what I was talking about when I was talking about the Ghost of Yotei controversy that happened 2 months ago. And basically the same thing that I felt like a lot of what was happening, because I had a lot of time to think about this over the past couple of days. A lot of what I was thinking about over the past couple of days was very reminiscent to how I was feeling revolving around the Ghost of Yotei controversy that happened a few months ago. And it was the fact that a lot of people were yelling and screaming constantly online and on Twitter and on YouTube videos that, oh, the game is woke, DEI, BS, and this and that, and yada yada, and they were making a lot of assumptions about the game based off of very little information, and we don't have, like, any other trailer other than the one that we currently have. They're just making a whole bunch of like rumors and speculation off of information that we don't have, and it was legitimately making me like very frustrated with the amount of discourse that all of these games were having, and it just was so frustrating that I had to talk about it, and that's what we're doing here today. And yeah, my opinions on the Intergalactic trailer, for those of you who want to know, my opinion on the trailer itself is that I feel no particular way about this trailer in any way whatsoever. I don't think that it's specifically woke DEI stuff, even though there are some things about the trailer that you can make arguments that points it to being in that direction. But in terms of the actual character's design, like her having a shaved head and her being a little bit more masculine than normal women and having tattoos, that doesn't really bother me. What bothers me is that she just kind of looks like a very generic mixed race sort of looking character. I don't even know if the character is mixed race. She looks more Asian than anything else, but people are calling her a mixed race bald lesbian, even though nothing about the trailer and the cinematics even point to her being a lesbian at all. But people are calling her that anyways because they think that it's woke for whatever reason. But the issue that I have with the character design in general is that it doesn't evoke any sort of reaction from me personally. She just looks kind of bland and generic. There's nothing about her design that really screams out to me personally. Not because she isn't hot or anything. People are gonna find any sort of character attractive in any way whatsoever. People look at Pyramid Head and they find that fucker attractive. So people are allowed to feel however the way they want about whatever character in context. But her, I feel no way about her in any way whatsoever. She doesn't look ugly. She doesn't look attractive. She just looks generic, and that's the biggest issue that I have with the character design. The overall art style, however, I enjoy the sort of 80s aesthetic, like future sci-fi, or retro sci-fi rather. I like the aesthetic of the art style. I think it looks very good. I don't really particularly have an issue with the product placements, but I do understand the criticism that people have that it sort of feels tacked in and that it doesn't really feel natural, and it just sort of feels like that the inclusion of it doesn't really feel authentic, and it's just sort of there for the sake of it being there, and that's kind of it. But other than that, I don't really feel any particular way about it. It just is, it's whatever. I feel no personal feelings about it. I don't feel anything negative about it. This jacket on the character looks pretty cool because it's very reminiscent of the anime movie Akira, if anyone's ever seen that. I still have yet to seen it. It's one of those movies that I know that I need to watch eventually because the Akira slide is like one of the most recognizable things in pop culture media in general. And it's just a really amazing movie from what I've heard. It also makes a lot of references to Cowboy Bebop, which I still need to finish because I never finished it. I watched like a few episodes, like a lot of episodes actually, but just never finished it. Other than that, everything that I've said so far, I feel no particular way about this trailer whatsoever. Like, yeah, the character kind of gives off as like arrogance and like snobbish and kind of like girl bossy. I can kind of like understand that. I can understand why a lot of people don't really like the first impressions of what they feel from this character based off of her personality. But for me, and from what I've seen so far, I can't really give you a definitive opinion about the character in terms of her personality or what her story or backstory is going to be like, because we only have one trailer of in-game cinematics of cutscenes, and that's basically it. There's nothing else to go off of other than what they've shown off so far, and for a lot of people, it's very negative. But for me personally, I don't really feel anything towards it. But the thing that I do feel towards about this trailer is just the amount of discourse that has been going on online, and it really upsets me because instead of actually criticizing the trailer and what they can actually improve upon this by saying that they could have made her stand out a lot more, because her just being bald isn't really like a defining character design trait. She's just bald, and that's kind of it. Whereas Hitman, like he like the reason why a character like Hitman stands out from the Hitman games is not because he's bald, but because, well, yes, because he's bald, but also because he's a guy who wears a suit and tie, and he's got the gloves on. He has the M1911s out all the time with the silencers on them, and he looks like a really cool. He's a very standout-ish design, and it's very simple. But it's a very simple design that still stands out and evokes a sort of reaction from the person watching or looking at that character design. Whereas her, I think her name's Jordan, I think that's been mentioned a couple of times, especially in interviews. Nothing about her really stands out in any sort of way. She just looks very generic and bland. It just doesn't strike towards me in any particular way. She looks fine, but she also looks bland. The Witcher 4, the CG cinematic that we got was very good. People are complaining that Ciri is ugly and she's fat. She looks fine, right? We've seen it before in previous CG trailers from CD Projekt Red, especially The Witcher, like with Geralt. Geralt doesn't look anything like how he does from the in-game cinematics in comparison to the CG trailer. And I think one of the developers also talked about how the final design for Ciri is going to look way different as in comparison to what we've seen so far from just this trailer. Some people are also complaining about how, oh, she can't become a Witcher. There's no reason for her to become a Witcher. How is she going to become a Witcher? Why is she the main character? Where the hell is Geralt? And I think we already have information that says that Geralt is going to be in the game, and how integral he is to the overall Witcher universe, and the fact that the ending of the last game, or at least the ending that I got, and I think a majority of the people got, the ending already established that he's still very much alive, and he's still very much going to be a part of the narrative and the story and the lore. And also that Ciri was also going to end up being the main character. Like, she was going to contribute a lot more because of how the game ended in the last game. So people are complaining about that for no reason whatsoever. It just seems kind of forced and dumb. And yeah, when I was talking about my Ghost of Yote video, which if you want to go check that out, please do. I really liked that video a lot, and a lot of people engaged with it, and a lot of people agreed with a lot of things that I had to say. Of course, if you want to have like a civil discussion about it, that's perfectly fine. If you have differing opinions than what I do, I'm open to any sort of topics and discussions and opinions that you want to throw my way. I'm totally down to have a very civil discussion about it, but that's ultimately the reason why this upset me a lot, was because of the fact that people really had a lot of things to say about Intergalactic and The Witcher 4, and even Astrobot winning Game of the Year, and how they thought that it should have been Black Myth Wukong. And I kept saying this over and over again to my friends about Black Myth Wukong. That was never going to win Game of the Year, because the people who decide to win Game of the Year in a lot of the awards besides Player's Choice, there are a bunch of the news websites like Kotaku and IGN that are the ones who are making the decisions behind the winners of the awards. So a bunch of game journalists, and as a lot of you know, game journalists really do not like Black Myth Wukong because of a variety of reasons that don't make any sense at all, and are completely made up and fabricated, and are misconstrued and mistranslated. They don't like Black Myth Wukong for whatever reason, and it made a lot of sense as to why they would have wanted something else to win. It could have been anything at that point besides Black Myth Wukong. But the reason why I think Astrobot ultimately ended up taking the win for Game of the Year is because it's a celebration of video games, and that's what the Game Awards are supposed to be about. The Game Awards are supposed to be a celebration of video games and the celebration of the history of video games and what has brought so many people together and has made so many people happy. And when I heard and saw that Astrobot won, I was incredibly happy because it deserved to win, and it's a legitimately fun game that celebrates the history of not only Sony first-party games like freaking Death Stranding, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Bloodborne, the Persona games, etc., etc. It celebrates the history of video games in its entirety, and it's amazing for it. And it's a legitimately fun platformer. But so many people got upset about it, and I thought it was dumb. I thought it was lame. I thought it was super annoying. Yeah, honestly, that's pretty much all I really have to say about it. I just thought the discussions that people were having around Intergalactic were really dumb. I think recently the story like leaked on like 4chan for Intergalactic, which sucks for the developers because they spent so much time trying to make sure that the game was as good as possible, and the story already got leaked, which sucks massively for them, and I feel horrible for them. But other than that, I don't feel any other particular way about this game, about Intergalactic specifically. I'm excited for Witcher 4 because I really like The Witcher 3, and I'm still excited for Ghost of Kyoto, and I want to see what other information they have for it. And other than that, I'm gonna go watch people play Clive Rossfield in Tekken 8 because he looks insanely fun. Obviously, I'm not gonna be able to play him immediately because I'm super busy with some other stuff. It's just probably not gonna happen for a little bit. But Clive looks super fun, looks super cool. I loved Final Fantasy 16. And I'm really glad that he's in Tekken 8. So I'm going to go watch the trailer. I'm going to go watch other people play. Speaking of watching other people play, actually, my buddy Patriot360, which I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out already for being a member of the channel. I really appreciate that. Along with Renegade Enigma, I really appreciate that as well. But yeah, let's go check out his live stream. Let's see if he wants to say anything to the video.
I'm recording. Want to say anything for the video? Hello. For everyone that's watching, fuck, what was your username again? I forgot. For everyone that's watching this video, oh yeah, Kira. Say the N-word, you're so stupid. Okay, I'll say this for you, Chris, for your video. For everyone that's watching Kira's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and
based.
Yeah, he appreciates everything, and hopefully you guys enjoy the video.
Based. Damn.
There you go.
I wasn't actually expecting him to say that. Alright, anyway, that's pretty much it. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Do what Pedro said, leave a like on the video, and subscribe if you want to see more. Yeah, shout out to him for being a member and for his amazing content and live streams. I really do enjoy watching the videos and live streams. Shout out to Renegade Enigma, who's also in the chat on Pedro's video, for being a member as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.